Hi, everybody. Okay, first thing I want to say is allergies suck. I am not a person with allergies, and all of a sudden this season I have allergies. We have these beautiful trees out in front of my house, including my beloved Nahama, and now I have allergies, which I never have had before, which that totally sucks. Um, so I have always had great sympathy for my husband and my son who suffer from this affliction in the spring, and it's not been something I've been bothered by, and now it's like so please forgive me because I feel like I sound like a frog. um I want to share some things this week about when the universe is trying to get us to purge and let go of things that don't serve. I know I feel like that's my message a lot, but I also want to. I think that we hang on, and I know I'm guilty of this because I'm a feeler, and I don't let go of people easily, especially people who are important to me. But we all know that thing, reason, season, lifetime, and I think sometimes we hold on longer. And I want to. I think the thing that I'm learning is so interesting after having taken the Brian Weiss workshop again a couple weeks ago. Is reason is finite. People come into our life for a reason. They come in, reason is served, they go out. The season, just because we have a season now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the season won't come again. And I think that that's important to remember. Oh, goodness. I don't mean to. That just because the season is oh, there you are. Sorry. God, at least I'm not sick. That just because the season is over, it doesn't mean it won't come again. And I'm kind of getting that message so much with these allergies. Last year, I had a little bit of allergy. It's not something I ever really suffered with, and I'm grateful. Last year I had a little bit of it, and this year I'm getting, full blown, just kick my butt, and how aggravating. But just because I'm in this season, it's not going to last forever, please God. But also because when the season leaves, doesn't mean it won't come back with another purpose. And so I'm trying to ask myself, what am I supposed to be learning from these stupid allergies? Because what could be this purpose? But, I bring myself back to that whole ideology of reason, season, and lifetime. And so if you have a season and the season is over, sometimes we hold on to that. We don't want to let those people go. But even if the season is over, it doesn't mean that season can't come again. And I think that that's important. One of my mentors that I worked with for a long time, who I adore, would talk about how life, the path is a spiral, and you go up in the spiral. So, and I always just really love that, because sometimes it feels like we're dealing with the same things over and over again. We're fighting those same battles over and over again, and I think a lot of that is, we're hitting those same things because, like spring allergies, it's going to come every year. You may or may not suffer with them, but spring is coming every year. So when things come back around, you're not in the same place, the same heart space, the same mind space that you were when they came around last year. You're in a different part of your journey. So while, you may be dealing with that same thing, you're not necessarily dealing with the same aspect of it. And so allowing for that season, in Mary Kay would call it seasonal reprogramming, that you might need one kind of a skincare in winter when the skin is drier, and a different kind of skincare in the summer when it's hotter and more oily. But I think there's truth to that for this too. Something like seasonal reprogramming, that when you come around to this season again next year, it'll be familiar because you've already been through it. Allergies, when it comes next year, I'll be ready. But also having a different perspective on it when that season comes my way again. So we're always learning new lessons, but we're learning higher vibrational lessons of those things. So when people come back into your life, or seasons come back around, knowing that you're not, it's not repetition of the exact same thing. Yes, there's familiarity. Yes, you're doing it again, but you're doing it from a different aspect, a different place, a different understanding, a different trajectory. And then we have the concept of lifetimes. So, and I love that idea because we do have those people that come into our lives for a lifetime. But maybe it's not just this lifetime. Maybe it's more than one lifetime. Maybe it's that they were in a previous lifetime and they're not really meant to be in this lifetime, but they'll be in another lifetime. And it's been on my mind because I was sharing in my blog this that came out this week, that it was about my introduction into learning about past lives, and that I was going to need to do more research, and I'm excited for my next blog post. And I know I got so sidetracked with February that in my mind this blog post that just went out was sort of the February one, and I'm trying to get this other one out before the end of March, so I'll be sticking to my once a month schedule. But and having that, learning about reincarnation and having spent time with Michael Weiss again, Dr. Michael Weiss, Brian Weiss, if you're not familiar with him. Brian Weiss is one of the pioneers of past life regression therapy, a psychiatrist out of Miami, and he's been doing this work for decades. And his story is amazing. His teaching is amazing, and he's very funny. But when you have those things about reason, season, and lifetime, one of the things that keeps resonating for me is we have more than one lifetime, and we know that. And so you do travel this road with the same souls over and over again. And so when you have reason, season, lifetime, if they are not necessarily fitting into what you would want for this lifetime to be defined, or for what it to look like, keep in mind that there's another lifetime, and maybe it's about looking at a past lifetime. So maybe it's an investigation that you need to do is to look into your past lives. And I would be delighted to help with that, of course, however I'm able. But that when we are holding on to these things because we don't want to let them go, that it isn't always about letting go forever. That it's letting go for now, because seasons come again and lifetimes come again. So I wanted to share that thought today. And there was something else that I wanted to share. And now, of course, with this stuff in my head, I can't think of what it was. Well, I guess I'll have to come back to it for another video. I will, as I always do, encourage you to, that's what it was, about circles, because we were talking about circles. About the gathering of the people, the gathering of your people, gathering of our people. I think that it's so important with everything that's going on in the world and the government and in our communities, and some of these things are so close to home, especially, Parkland, and we had, Pulse here in Orlando, and, all these things that are just heart-wrenching. The gathering people in circles becomes more and more important every day. And for me, here in my house, several years ago, we had a women's group, and it was wonderful. Once a month we would meet, we would have wine, we would have cheese, and we would just talk about what was going on in our world, and what was our goal for the month, or what we were working on for a life plan, and how we could support each other. And so everyone came to the table with, this is what I'm working on, this is where I'd like it to go, and this is the kind of support that I need. And it wasn't, a bitch session or anything like that, but it was really about mentorship, about women mentoring women. And there was some networking involved as well. It's like, oh, you're working on something, I know someone who might be able to help you. And then, as life happens and cycles go, it kind of petered out. And after the election last year, we started to do something with fundraising potluck dinners that we would do once a month to raise money for a different cause, different charity each month. And that went, several months, and then, again, as things do. But I've been feeling very called as we finished up 2017 and moved into 2018. I was feeling very called about starting up a new circle. And then something fell in my lap as far as Women's Day was, because we had International Women's Day yesterday, so yay, women. And to really to restart the circle and some new resources and things. And I'm really excited about starting the circle, because that's kind of how I feel about this community as well, that we are about the circle of people. So if you'd like to know more about the circle that we're going to be starting, it is going to be live and in person here in Orlando, but I also have that the idea of having the circle as part of this community as part of the circle as well. So if you'd like more information about that, we're just starting to put those pieces together. But I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about some of the people that I'm already talking with about getting it off the ground. So if you're local to me and it's something you'd like to be part of, please let me know. And I would love to, I'm delighted to share things that we're going to be doing in our circle here as well. So maybe you start a circle where you are. But it really is about gathering people together, women, but people, gathering people together to uplift each other, to motivate each other, to help each other, support each other in a bigger picture, because I think so much we get caught up in the minutia of the day and the news and the aggravation and the la 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 la, that's just so draining. And being able to come to a place that's safe, emotionally safe, and no judgment, and just a place of love and support for whatever is on your path, and being able to get that kind of guidance and that kind of support and mentorship from other women, I think it's very, very powerful, because we take that energy, we take that out into the other circles that we roam through in our lives, and we really continue to shift the vibration of the planet that way. So having more circles just continues to shift that vibration. So a lot about circles and cycles today. It's just been kind of what's been on my mind. So I'm delighted that you are part of my world in this season, for whatever reason, as part of this lifetime. I'm super excited that our page is at like 198 likes. So close to 200. So share me. Feel free to share me. We'll see if we can get over 200. And it's just exciting to me. And I'm very grateful for all the love and support that you share. Latest blog post was out, and look for one more, hopefully before the end of this month, about past life regression. So have a wonderful weekend, and know how incredibly grateful I am for you in my life, for whatever reason, for every season, and for however many lifetimes.